everyone, Morgan here. It is a beautiful sunny day, so I thought I would talk about some precious metals. Let's get to it. Precious metals in today's society don't have a huge hold except for investment purposes. So if you are investing in precious metals, really the best precious metals you want to invest in are gold and like platinum, things like that are really expensive, right? If you want to try to invest in silver, your investment is really not going to be that great. I think I used to buy silver at like $21, and I've really never been able to get my money back on that silver. But that's okay, because I'm not really looking to get my money back on that silver. I'm looking at it as a personal investment for myself. But I've also given precious metals a hard time because, you have to think of the person that you're trading with. Many preppers talk about wanting precious metals because they want to trade with that other person. Now, when it comes to trading or bartering with anybody, they may not want that gold or silver. They may want a specific item, like they may want flour or sugar or something like that. So, and that's okay, but somebody may actually want that gold or silver. It's always a good thing to have just some junk silver around. And I'm going to talk about this in just a second, but having just junk silver in small denominations like this can really be helpful in trade and barter situations. And it's especially going to be important if there are ever any sort of grid down situation. So while cash is still going to be king, cash is only king because of our current society right now. And I want to take you on a little trip on Currency Way and talk about currency a little bit. If you see me looking over here, it's because I do have notes. I'm not like a super expert, but I have educated myself on our paper currency because I didn't really know much about it either. But a lot of our paper currency that created so way back in 1861, there were demand notes. And in 1861, demand notes were issued in order to help fund the Civil War. And these demand notes were made available in denominations of $5, $10, and $20. And the name originated from the fact that these demand notes could be redeemed on demand for coins. So even going before 1861 with the Civil War, in 1690, the Massachusetts Bay Colony was the first to introduce paper notes to fund military missions. This is the second time I have mentioned military missions and currency. In 1776, the Continental Congress introduced America's first national paper money known as Continentals. Soon after paper notes entered the colonies, criminals began to produce fake notes. Even to this day, people are always trying to counterfeit money, right? It's just been a constant battle with counterfeiting. The dollar as we know it was first created in 1914 after the establishment of the Federal Reserve Bank. The Federal Reserve Act of 1913 ushered in the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank as a reaction to the growing unreliability and instability caused by a financial system centered around individual banks issuing banknotes. So let's think about precious metals for just a second. Precious metals have been used throughout history, throughout the existence of currency and the existence of finding precious metals, through people's exploration and whatever. They found precious metals and they were like, hey, I like this. This is shiny. Let's use this for currency, right? Basically, don't quote me on that. But I'm just saying, precious metals, gold and silver, all these types of precious metals have been used in currency for a long time. Paper money in regular currency hasn't been used that long. You have to ask yourself, is this a really stable currency? Our paper currency? No, it's not. And we're seeing that every single day, that our paper currency is losing value. They're printing it like it's, like it's just monopoly money. It's just right? When it comes to some sort of emergency or disaster situation, while cash will be king in the beginning, I would say if this were some sort of short term, just like any natural disaster, hurricanes, things like that, you're going to be using cash to get what you need from grocery stores or whatever, because let's say it's good, the electricity's down, whatever, you're going to be paying with cash, right, with the paper money. But If it were some sort of extended period of time, or let's say you live in a situation in which trading and bartering is the norm, people may seriously want silver or other precious metals. Now, this can definitely pay for it, right? This is all junk silver here. I'm going to show you. And the way that I know that this is good quality junk silver, actually one of the very first ways that I know, is you can see that it is tarnished a little. Let's see if I can get it into good light. Yeah, there we go. You can see, well, I don't know if you can see. You can see that it is tarnished, and silver, quality silver will tarnish, just oxidation, humidity, whatever. It'll tarnish, right, a little bit. So if you see any silver and it has that little tarnish look on it, that's completely normal. That's a good thing. Let's see if I can see it a little bit better. Anyway, having junk silver in your collection is one of the easiest ways that you're going to be able to use this in a trading and bartering situation. If you have like bars of gold or bars of silver, first of all, you have to melt that down into more reasonable trading types of currency. You know, you're not going to give somebody a bar of silver or, you know, like a bar of gold for just like a couple bags of flour. You're just not going to do that, you know? And so having these small junk silvers around is going to be a fantastic way for you to be able to give that currency, you know, in smaller denominations. You know, if somebody says, oh, I want your $50 there. Hey, here you go. I love $50. We used to collect them. My dad was really into precious metals, and we used to collect $50, dollars, things like that in coins. I loved it. But you know, those coin collectors are onto something. You know, those are things that can have real value, especially ones that are actually junk silver. Now, from Patriot Gold Supply, they do offer junk silver for really affordable, actually. And I really want you to determine your goals for precious metals. Going out and buying, you know, $50, dollars, things like that in silver form is probably one of the most affordable ways that anybody could do it, you know. Listen, as a result of the current inflation and even the coming of hyperinflation, you know, the dollar is being devalued almost every single day, you know. And there's just general uncertainty. Precious metals, I don't know if you've noticed, but precious metals have been skyrocketing in price. As a general investment, there are certain, you know, precious metals that can be a good investment. But what we're seeing is they just continue to skyrocket in price. And why are precious metals skyrocketing in price? Because they're assets. They're assets just like everything else that you prep. You're prepping your food, that's an asset. You're prepping your first aid, that's an asset. You have generators or solar power or whatever, those are assets. Hard assets. I've talked about this in the past. This is a hard asset that will never go out of style. Now, of course, just like with the market, things go up and down, right? But precious metals, go take a look at history, and precious metals have been around and stuck around. And they have practical use. This has more practical use than having cash in your hand for long term. Like I said, cash in the very beginning, like in the first 2 weeks, month, 2 months, whatever it might be, cash will still be important. But coins like this, junk silver, this will always hold value, always, period. But I will say what I always say about precious metals: only invest in precious metals, especially, you know, junk silver and stuff like that, if you can afford it. If you can't, if all you can afford is buying some food and water, do that first. But if you can afford to set aside, you know, $20, $30, $50, whatever, to just invest in a little bit of junk silver, stuff in smaller denominations like this, smaller sizes like this, you know, just any type of smaller sizes, it's going to be worth it. Get a little bit at a time. Just like with food and water, get a little bit at a time. You don't have to get a ton all at once. You don't have to get all the junk silver all at once. Just get a little bit of silver here and there, just a little bit at a time, and you'll be good to go. So that's my personal opinion. Invest in junk silver and precious metals if you have the means to do so. Highly suggest that you do go check out Patriot Gold Supply. My interactions with them have been absolutely stellar. Like, I'm super impressed. I have never had this good of customer service and interaction with like any other site. And you guys always ask me, you know, what's like a really reputable site? This place. They also help with the Wounded Warrior Project, which I think is pretty cool. I'm going to put a link down below to where you can go check out Patriot Gold Supply. I know this is a longer video than usual, but I felt very passionate about this topic because I really don't talk about this a lot. Because in the past I have given precious metals a little bit of a hard time, but it's only because I want you guys to be aware that this is just another investment. But, you know, I also have given precious metals a really hard time in the past because lots of people are buying like, you know, gold bars and silver bars. It's not practical to be using those types of things unless you want it for an actual investment, or unless you know how to melt that stuff down in order to make it into smaller denominations like this. So, you know, as an investment, it can be a really good thing. As just, you know, future currency for the end of the world apocalypse, it can also be a great thing, you know. But, you know, it's always nice to have just some junk silver on hand, just for whatever may happen, right? Thank you all so much for watching Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. Please check out patriotgoldsupply.com in the description and go see what they have to offer. Thank you all so much for watching Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. Talk to you later. Bye.